Hi, today we're going to talk about tablescapes for the holidays. I'm doing Christmas. There are a lot of different tablescapes you can do. They can be fancy, they can be casual, they can be for a full dinner, they can be for an appetizer. Maybe your sister's called and said, hey, I'm doing the dinner, can you come over and do the beverage bar? Well, today I'm doing a dessert tablescape. My friends always get together during the holidays. We go out for dinner, we have a nice evening, we come back to somebody's house, and you get to host the rest of the evening having sweets and opening white elephant gifts. Now, the reason I talk about white elephant gifts are because my centerpiece is a bleached deer head. And my husband wanted at last year's Christmas. We got in the car and it was in a giant bag, and he said, what are we going to do with this? And I said, I have an idea. I knew it was my turn this year to have the tablescape and do the dessert, so I decided I would paint it silver and make a rag bow on it. Keep in mind that everything on my table, or most everything on my table, are things that I owned or things that I've repurposed or gathered from my yard. Starting with the deer, I'm a crafter, so I had lots and lots of material, Christmas material. I cut it into 2-inch wide strips, not cut it, I ripped it, into 2-inch wide strips, 7 inches long, tied it in the center and put a little bell on it, and that's what you see on the deer's head. The next thing I crafted was this little garland. And what it is a piece of twine, and I took those same pieces of ripped material and I tied it to the twine, and that's approximately 7.5 feet long. I've wound it through the table here, but you can also swag it on the front of your buffet if that's what you want to do. My tablescape is very, very casual. My group is casual, and that's why I chose to go this direction. The next thing I made were something for silverware, and pardon me, I happen to be a sewer, like I said. I had some Pellon that I put inside the 2 pieces of material I put together. I made a little pocket so that I could stick the napkin and the silverware in, and voila, you have this. Now, if you're not a sewer and if you choose not to craft in this way, that's perfect, because you can take some of this material that you stripped and you can tie your napkin and your silverware together and use it that way. Don't feel like you have to do something special in a big sewing project or anything. On the base of the table, I have greens that I've gathered from my yard. I had a couple of different kinds of evergreen trees. I have magnolia leaves here, and I had a Yopon holly, and the berries were just now starting to turn. So I made little bouquets to put on the table to make it look a little bit more festive. Now, the cutest thing, I think, are my little reindeers. I had these cylindrical jars. Again, being a master gardener, we have lots of flowers that we like to have. And instead of putting a bouquet in it, I wrapped it with the twine, the same twine that I used for all the other rest of the projects. Put a little button nose on and cut some branches out of a tree. I have little glass marbles in here. And I thought he made a cute little Rudolph because we didn't want the centerpiece to be lonely. What else did I make over here? Oh, the boxes that I'm using for some lifts might have been gift boxes that I received in the past. A little cookie tin I have back here has Santa Claus on it. I use that as a little lift. Putting lifts on your table makes it a little bit more interesting, I think. Also, doing a buffet is a great way to serve a lot of people in a short amount of time. And they can come and go. You don't have to feel that it's so formal sitting down having cake or coffee or whatever. The empty plates you see here will be filled with homemade cookies, maybe a Yule log. This gorgeous little sleigh will be filled with those wonderful flavored popcorns that you buy during this time of year. Also, I made little I made little holders that you can mark what you've written. If you're making something out of the ordinary and it's a plate of cookies but it's not chocolate chip, maybe you want to put the flavor on there, or maybe it's sugar-free for your diabetic friends, and you can put a little name. All I did was tied 2 little branches together, and then I can stick a little piece of paper in here so that we can put the name of whatever it is to identify the item we're eating. This happens to be an anthurium that was gifted to me this summer, and I know it's tropical, but as I'm looking around my house for a live plant to put on my table, I thought this is just gorgeous. The leaves are shiny green and the flower is bright red, and I think it's just perfect for this little casual table. I have a very good, very big coffee cup in the middle of the table, and I thought that would be really good for some dipped pretzels that you find or make during the holidays. So that's a cute idea. Or fill it with candy cane candies and things like that. You know, homemade fudge, Yule logs. I can't even think of how many things you have out there. Recipes from grandma's, or you know what, you can go to Costco and pick up a few things already made. Now, I did buy something for this table. I just couldn't pass it up since I was doing something very casual and I really didn't have any casual plates that I could put on this buffet. I found these really neat paper plates that they look like wood, and I thought, oh my gosh, that would just fit perfect with what I'm doing. So this is my one bought item. Everything else was in my stash or in my yard, in my garden. So I hope this is helpful to you when you're looking for something to do and make your life easy. You know, just settle back and use what you have. Thank you.